Like, see, all I'm saying is that if you made enough coffee to begin with, I wouldn't have to make more. That's all I'm saying. Don't drink all the coffee. Hi. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's real good. Hello, Internet. James, David West, JD Dubs, whoever you want to think I am or say that I am or whoever I might be. Who knows? Nobody. Definitely not me. So, good morning on this Good Friday, once I am recording this. I actually did a video yesterday. It was about 45 minutes worth of recording, and I'm sitting at a desk. So in front of me, this way, there's basically a wall, and then my desk, which is here, rather large desk, and my voice reverberates, and it bounces off the table and up to the microphone up here. So I put some foam down in order to mitigate the reflected voice. But the foam was pressing down on the space bar. Even whenever I wasn't touching it, I guess just moving the desk a little bit caused it to just barely press, and it stopped recording. For some reason, it would just, in the middle of the recording, it would stop recording, and I didn't think to look because this is still all new to me, the way that I'm doing all of this. I'm going straight into the computer via a software called OBS. I don't know what it stands for. Operating business software. And I went to edit it and noticed that the 45 minutes had only about 18 minutes worth. I thought, I could go through this. I could go through the whole video and all the videos and pick out, maybe I could form some stuff. I could put some stuff together. But then I was just so mad, and I didn't finish it out of spite. Which, sometimes you do. Sometimes you do. So let me tell you about an experience I had this last weekend. Yeah, this last weekend. I had the honor of being in a pilot to a web series or possibly TV series that is trying to be picked up. Some very talented people in Nashville put this together, and graciously let me be a part of it. It's about 3 minorities that are typecast, and they go to various auditions, and they're actors, and just bringing light to that, showcasing it. And it's been roughly 2 years since we shot it, and I got to watch the preview, the finished episode. I finally got to see the finished pilot this past weekend at an event at the Fourth Wall Acting Studio. I got coffee tongue. It's because the coffee is so dark, so bold, so brave and so bold, like Batman. I never did get into Batman Brave and the Bold. I tried to. It wasn't my cup of tea. Or cup of coffee, we might say. Back on track. So, as you all know, it's now 7 months into 2021. It's almost as if it's not, though. You know what I mean? Like, it still feels like we're still in 2020 somehow. Anyway, so I haven't been around people. I mean, I've been around people. I'll go to the supermarket. I have my roommate and my close friends that I've been visiting with throughout all of the pandemic. However, not around a room full of 100 plus beautifully creative people. Okay, I'm talking about the cream of the crop of that was a little much. I'm talking about the cream of the crop. People in Nashville who you want to know, that you want to know you, and that you want to like you so that you can work with them in the future, because it will be a swell event, hopefully. My people skills are lacking comparatively before all of this happens. I mean, I could talk to anybody about anything, and I can keep a conversation going, and we can just but then I realized all of the personality quirks within myself that I have worked on over the years to hone and make a specific type of interaction with people so the conversations don't last longer than they need to, blah, 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 blah. I realized that I have lost said ability to keep things going on track. I have made it to where everything kind of seems awkward, at least it does to me. And I wonder if it comes across as awkward to some of these people that I spoke with. It's very like, hey, what are you doing? What are you up to these days? Hey, what are you up to? Well, person number 8, as I spoke to person number 7, which you were standing right here, I'm not doing anything right now. You're not doing anything? Nope, not doing anything. Funny, because I just heard you tell the 5th person that you were doing something. Yes, because they wouldn't stop asking me, and I had to give them something. You can't give them nothing. You have to give them something, even if it's not actually a big deal, even if it's a small deal, or not even a deal at all, if it's just a thing. I auditioned recently. Like, duh, that's what you do as a creative. As an actor, at least, you audition. It got to where I didn't really have anything to talk about because it's coffee. Coffee does not help. Coffee does not help coffee mouth. I feel like I should brush my teeth. I think I'm gonna go do that, yeah. Yeah, that's a lot better. Okay. Much better. Okay, where was I? Anyway, so yeah, at these events, seeing all these passionately driven people and wanting to know what's going on with this person and wanting to know what's going on with this person and then seeing this other person that you really want to know about, and then you realize that you've been looking at their social media for a year and a half now. I feel that in 2020 and 2021, this is the most that anyone has spent on social media. So like you already know what's going on in their lives, but do you? Do you know what is really going on in their lives? Because you've been looking at a 2D screen, you've been scrolling and scrolling and liking and commenting so that you can bring your own social media engagement up, and it's all this thing where you're trying to beat the algorithm and you hope that your popularity will rise, but then it doesn't, and then you actually have a negative follower count now because people have unfollowed you because they were bots to begin with, and then you feel even worse because those bots had a home and now they've left you. Anyway, we watched the thing, the episode, and it was so good. It was funny. I hope good things come from it. I wish much luck with the filmmakers, showrunners, whatever you want to say. It's an indie pilot that they're working on getting picked up, and I guess time will tell whether it gets picked up or not. Ollie's parents stood up, and his dad gave a speech that was so moving. It was heartwarming, and it was they had fled Baghdad back in 2002, I think it was, and his dad was a filmmaker and a journalist, something like that. I may be butchering the story, but his dad said in Arabic, and Ollie was translating, how he's dreamt of this moment his entire fatherly life, that he wished that his son would go the route or at least pick a passion, and it ended up being acting and filmmaking, and he said, this is like watching a dream come true and seeing all of you here and the support and the praise that you're giving. And it's just, forgive me for seeming selfish, but I love this for my child, my lovely being, my one and only, not one and only, but you know what I'm trying to say, all that sappy stuff. I cried. I didn't care who knew it. I wasn't holding it back. I felt it coming, and I just went, and I let it happen, and it was fucking beautiful. Oh, it was so beautiful. And in my mind, I'm going, I'll never have that with my dad. But it was a great time. And then everyone started to leave after that. It was a Saturday night in Nashville, Tennessee, which is one of the big party places. Woo! With all the bachelorettes coming to the fucking city. people were going out and having after parties and getting drinks elsewhere, and I'm not drinking alcohol right now, so I didn't want to put myself in that position. So I stayed and looked to see who else I could talk to throughout the rest of the night. Hey, here's a group of people I haven't talked to. Here's a group of people. And it seemed that my awkwardness of me, that is from my core, the awkwardness that I've worked on to get rid of so that I don't have to subject people to it, it seemed that it was front page, center line, down the middle of the stretch, or whatever you want to say. Uh, no one really seemed to want to talk to me. And at the time, I thought, does no one want to speak to me? Is it that I'm like, is it me? Is it like, what's going on? And I had a legitimate moment where I was thinking to myself, no one here likes me. No one here wants me to be around. No one wants me to talk to them, and nobody here, as can tell and is obvious and proven, some might even say, based on the lack of interaction. And so I was going from like group to group, people to people, trying to snag a spot, and the conversations never lent well enough for me to start talking. And I realized that my welcome was overstayed, and that it was time for me to leave this place. So I said my goodbyes to the people that wanted to say goodbye to me, and I left and went home. It was odd. Like it was 9:15 or like 9:45, and I went home, which normally I'm there until the very end, or go to an after party or an after bar and then hang out with more people, something like that. David likes his alcohol. But then I had a moment of reflection, which I do often, because at 2 to 3 a.m. in the morning is when every thought that I have ever had about anything ever pops up into my head, and then you have to go through them. You can't just push them away. You have to, and it reminded me, David, everyone has been locked inside. So it's not just me that was experiencing awkwardness, awkwardity. It's not just me that was experiencing awkwardity. It was everyone. And I guess that's comforting to know that it wasn't just me, it was everybody. And I hope that they didn't feel what I felt. Yeah. We're going to a little bit of a vulnerable place here. And so I am retreating, because it's hard to be 100% yourself in these types of videos, because you know that people on the internet are going to watch. And if they're going to watch, that means that they can judge. And how dare you judge me? There's still a thing where your mind says, I want these people to like me. Granted, there are certain people that I don't care if they like me or not. I really don't. But those are people that I don't like, and that will never have a purpose or serve any kind of meaning to my life. So, and that's okay. So the event was awesome. It was nice. I got to see a preview finally after 2 years of working on a thing, and I hate every moment that I'm in it. But it's not about me, which is good. It's called Typecast. You can find them Typecast Series TV, I think, on Instagram at least. I think they have a Twitter. I don't think they have a TikTok. They do have an Instagram and a Facebook. I know that. Typecast Series TV or Typecast TV Series. It makes more sense to be Typecast Series TV, because you can be a series and not necessarily be on TV, even though most people, or some people, a lot of people, are looking at the web series on their TV, because that's what TV is these days. I'm rambling. I always do this. I just go on these little things and I add so much detail that doesn't need to be there. All right, I'm going to go on that note. Now, before I do go, I bet most of you never thought you could go that long without showering. But now you know that you can. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. And brushing your teeth. Nasty ass. Look, I went a total of 11 days without showering at one point during the pandemic, so I have no room to talk. Okay, bye!